Ahora vamos a aprender vocabulario acerca de desastres naturales.
Greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. When the sun's energy reaches the Earth's atmosphere, some of it is reflected back to space and the rest is absorbed and re-radiated by greenhouse gases.
A snowmelt happens if temperatures rise quickly, and there are large quantities of snow and ice remaining. They may melt and cause flash floods, bringing another form of disaster to the affected area.
Drought is the unusual dryness of soil caused by levels of rainfall significantly below average over a prolonged period.
Hole in the ozone layer is altering rainfall and precipitation patterns over the southern hemisphere in places like Brazil, southern Africa, and Australia.
Industrial pollution has been linked with changes in sea surface temperatures in the Atlantic, which have led to droughts and even hurricanes. Air pollution does more than make the skies hazy, with a new study suggesting the industrial leak is linked to drought, flooding and even hurricanes.
Flood is an overflow of water that submerges land.
Global warming and its consequences in climate change doesn't cause hurricanes, floods or droughts, but it does exacerbate them.
Nuclear disaster. The earthquake cut off external power to the reactors. Tsunami, which reached levels more than twice as high as the plant was designed to withstand, disabled backup diesel generators, crippling the reactor cooling systems. Battery power was quickly exhausted, and overheating fuel in the plant's operating reactor cores led to hydrogen explosions that severely damaged 3 of the reactor buildings. Fuel in 3 of the reactor cores melted, and radiation releases from the damaged reactors contaminated a wide area surrounding the plant and forced the evacuation of nearly 500,000 residents.
Oil spill. Natural disasters, such as hurricanes or floods, can also cause oil spills. For example, Hurricane Katrina was responsible for the release of more than 7 million gallons of oil into the ecosystem, originating from oil storage facilities, processing plants, and pipelines.
Landslide is described as an outward and downward slope movement of an abundance of slope-forming materials including rock, soil, artificial, or even a combination of these things.
Hurricane is a cyclonic storm system that forms over the oceans.
Tornado is a violent and dangerous rotating column of air that is in contact with both the surface of the Earth and a cumulonimbus cloud, or the base of a cumulus cloud in rare cases.
Earthquake is the result of a sudden release of energy in the Earth's crust that creates seismic waves.
Sargassum, also called Gulf weed, is a floating, brownish algae that attracts sand fleas and smells like rotten eggs. It is generally attached to rocks along coasts in temperate regions. The seaweed blooms in the Sargasso Sea, located in a 2 million square mile body of warm water in the North Atlantic Ocean. With the influx of seaweed threatening the tourism sector of the Caribbean, officials have called for an emergency meeting of the 15-nation Caribbean community.
Tsunamis can be caused by undersea earthquakes such as the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, or by landslides such as the one in 1958 at Lituya Bay, Alaska, or by volcanic eruptions such as the ancient eruption of Santorini.
Volcano eruption can cause widespread destruction and consequent disaster.
Hailstorms are precipitation in the form of ice, with the ice not melting before it hits the ground. Like the one in Guadalajara in July 2019.
Wildfires are large fires which often start in wildland areas, like the ones in Australia in January 2020.
Avalanche is described as an outward and downward slope movement of snow.
Sinkhole when natural erosion, human mining or underground excavation makes the ground too weak to support the structures built on it. The ground can collapse.
Blizzards are severe winter storms characterized by heavy snow and strong winds.
Space disasters. Asteroids that impact the Earth have led to several major extinction events, including one which created the Chicxulub crater 64.9 million years ago and which is associated with the demise of the dinosaurs.
Now, it's your turn. You are going to answer the following questions. Record yourself and then email the recording to your teacher.
Do you think there are more natural disasters than in the past? Why? Do you think we are prepared to deal with the disasters? Why?
Listen and read along what these students say. After this, read the questions. You are going to record yourself answering the questions and email them to your teacher.
Sarah, I think it's really scary that there are so many natural disasters these days. There are far more than in the past. Every time you switch on the news you see places that are flooded or countries in drought. I'm sure it's all connected to climate change and global warming.
James, we hear so many natural disasters on the news these days that you become immune to them. I don't mean that in a horrible way, but it always seems so far away and there's absolutely nothing you can do to help the poor people who are there.
Cindy, the hurricanes and earthquakes that have happened in the past month just prove how unprepared we are for natural disasters. It's crazy that with all the technology and information available to us nowadays, natural disasters still kill so many people. They should spend more money on research to develop warning systems for hurricanes, floods, earthquakes and tsunamis.
Roger, you can't prepare for natural disasters as nobody knows when or where they are going to happen. It's nature's way of reminding us that she is in charge and we should respect her a lot more than we do.
Who do you agree with? Why? Who do you disagree with? Why?
Pick one of the roles below. Imagine that you have survived a natural disaster and are waiting for rescue. Only 3 of you can be rescued. You need to justify why you should be one of the rescued people. You should speak for at least 2 minutes to convince the rescue squad that you should be rescued and record yourself with your convincing arguments and email them to your teacher.
You are a scientist. You are currently working on a cure for Alzheimer's disease and you are close to finding a cure. You are the only member of the research team who knows what the exact possible cure is. You are single and don't have any children.
You are a firefighter. You were awarded a medal for bravery last month after saving a family from a burning house. You are married and have a small baby.
You are a teacher in a local school. You love your job and the children in your class are problematic but are now doing very well. You have a special relationship with your students and have taught them all to read. You have a partner and 2 children.
You're a brain surgeon and work at the local hospital. You specialize in treating the very ill and have a high success rate of operations. You are married and have 2 grown-up children.
Well, that's all for today's lesson. Have a good day.